What's up, guys? Matthew here, and I am so excited to watch the season 4 premiere of The Bear. I just want to say this real quick. If you just want to hop into my reaction, probably skip ahead like 2 minutes. I'm going to talk for a little bit. If you're new to my channel, I appreciate you guys for joining me. The Bear, as a show in general, was a revelation for me. I watched this in preparation for season 4. I heard that season 4 was coming out in June, like apparently they do every year, so that's why that's how I found out. I had heard The Bear was, really good. To put it simple, I heard that The Bear was really fucking good. And I started it. And it blew me out of the water. And not just like I heard that it was gonna be like a hectic cooking show, you know what I mean? But the character work and the emotion and the dialogue and the arguments and the cinematography especially really blew me away, to the point where this has become one of my favorite shows, especially not even just of all time, but especially right now. You know what I mean? So I'm very hyped and very excited to start the season. Obviously, we have a lot of stuff going on. Is this a good review? Is it a bad review? Or are we gonna have to close? Is Sid gonna leave us? Is Carmy gonna continue to self-sabotage? And obviously each person's sort of journey, and we're gonna see if they're gonna hit their goals. So I'm very excited. I know that there should be. I don't know. There should be 10 episodes of the season. I am going to go on an unholy binge. This is going to be the first time on my channel where a new season has dropped in its entirety. So I am going to binge it as soon as possible. I'm going to release the first episode as soon as I can and then go on the binge. So this is probably going to come out maybe like 11 o'clock at night or something, 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Just if you're interested, I have a Patreon. I have full-length reactions up on Patreon. Right when this episode comes out, I'm not going to have any future episodes, but in about like 6 or 10 or 16 hours, I'm probably going to have the whole fucking season up there. So monitor the YouTube comments. The minute that I get all the episodes up on Patreon, I'm going to pin a comment under this video. But other than that, if you're not interested in joining the Patreon, that's okay. I would really appreciate it if you liked, commented, and subscribed. It really helps me out, and I'd really appreciate it. But other than that, I'm hyped to start the 4th season of The Bear, so let's get into it. Let's go. This show does something to me if you guys watch my first 3 season reactions. Gets my heart bumping, I got breathe heavy, I panic, but I love, and I want to cry, and oh my god. Obviously, season 2, episode 6, season 2, episode 7, season 3, episode 8. Some of my favorites of the show. Where the hell are we? The goddamn Arctic Circle? We're gonna get a polar bear? A polar bear this season. Is that an actual thing? Or a harsh nightmare? Or... I loved the cinematography of last season. It was so utterly crazy. I wonder if we're doing another montage episode.
Can I ask you something?
No, for fuck's sake, Herm.
What?
Dude? Like,
What? Forget it then.
No,
Mike,
what
forget
are you
it.
gonna say? Everybody thought it was stupid. You do this all the time. You fucking like.
No,
What
Mike,
were you gonna
Mike,
say?
Mike,
What
I
were
was
you
gonna
gonna
ask if you
God,
gave a
just
shit
what-
about it.
Give a shit about-
I've described it as much. Like, the dialogue in this show is the most realistic of any show I've ever watched. Uncomfortably real.
What if I wanted to open a restaurant?
What the fuck is that? Why a restaurant?
Why not a restaurant?
Like you already have a restaurant.
Yeah, but this would be a different restaurant.
I would assume he didn't want him to go into owning a restaurant either because he saw the struggles. But even then, like, I don't know, Mikey seemed to have so much
Every one of our good memories,
confidence
they happen in restaurants.
in
right?
Carmy.
Like,
I'm scared that we got a shitty review and we're gonna have to close for a bit. We're going back to the origin of the thought.
all this good shit, it happened to us in restaurants because restaurants are special places, right? And people go to restaurants to be taken care of, right? They go to restaurants to celebrate.
My heart breaks anytime I see him, man.
No, the only time I can remember him being even remotely happy was when he would talk about that Irish place he loves so much.
Jesus Christ.
What?
This business is such a...
What was it called?
I I don't know. It's so up and down, and it's the best moments of their life, but then it's also the fucking worst times of their lives. They argue and they yell and they hate each other, but it's somewhat beautiful. Cooking as a whole is a passion, as an escape, as a hobby for them.
You feel that? That's pretty much it. Carmy, that's what he's like.
No fucking abandonment issues.
He's an asshole.
Fucking Sid gonna leave, and I've been mulling over the decision. Like, obviously, I love Sid and I love her with our people, but I think it's the best decision for Sid right now. And if she does leave, I could see her bringing Marcus.
Look, we could do this, right? We could take care of people. We could make it calm.
And I also think the stress of maybe having to close is weighing so hard on Carmy. Because just as Richie saw the original beef, like a sort of an homage, the last memory, the last connection to Mikey, I feel like this is Carmy's last connection. The dream of running a restaurant. You feel like he'd fail Mikey. And these scenes are heartbreaking too because Mikey doesn't see himself having a future. What a beautiful dream. Oh, man.
I think I got a better one.
I have goosebumps. You guys know me. If I watch this fucking show, I just get goosebumps. Are they playing with time again? I said this last season, but what I love about The Bear is that I could tune into any episode and expect anything. I could be fucking 10 years in the future. I could be fucking 30 years back. It could be an origin story. It could be fucking Tina shopping for vegetables for 50 minutes. And I would go, sounds good to me. I think it's okay. I mean, I feel like he would be more angry or more panicky, or he would have talked to someone if it was real shitty. You know? And especially, I feel like Cicero would call his ass immediately. And that almost feels like he's keeping a trophy because it's... Oh! No! Oh, that's bad! Oh my god. No, my heart breaks, please! One of my predictions, since the end of the first season, when we temporarily closed to reopen, I said, part of me kind of believes that this could also be in the... I don't know, this could be in the future. And we've already closed down or something like that. And I wouldn't be... Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I said since, the end of season 1 when we temporarily closed, I could see the restaurant actually closing. Because that's the thing with The Bear. The restaurant isn't the main character. The characters are the main character. I could follow them anywhere. Are you gonna fucking grow, Carm? Or are you gonna apologize? Or are you gonna...
You're gonna have to be a little more specific.
I love her so fucking... Sid and Richie, they alternate as my favorite characters. I'm tired of hearing that bullshit.
Okay, I don't know if that's a take.
I want specifics. I want promises.
The Trib ate here 3 times at 3 different restaurants?
The food sounded good.
Sometimes.
Okay.
They didn't like the vibe.
I told you the vibe. I don't like that fucking open kitchen.
Chaos. And yeah, frankly, I don't know if I do either.
You think I like chaos?
I think this is the time Sid needs to bring up this.
I think
Not to threaten him, but
you would be just as good. You would be great. Maybe even better of, a cook without this need for, mess.
Oh, congrats, that knocked the wind right out of me.
Well, you don't need it.
don't act like the fucking victim.
I don't like dysfunction.
Okay, well, what do you like?
He thrives in it. He needs it to move on.
I like this.
Because it's what he's used to from his family.
Okay. That was, maybe the most miserable delivery of something.
That's Carmy.
Okay, maybe just try to be less miserable first.
If this man does not fucking find a way back in with Claire, I will hate him for life. Not as in like a as a bag fumbler, as a pure fucking bag fumbler. He'll be the greatest fumbler of all time. I absolutely loved the cinematography of last season.
She wanted a bear that cost $100, and I said no, and then she got pissed, and I didn't back down.
Okay, cool. That's all you gotta say.
She said she deserved it, and I wasn't taking no for an answer. And I don't know, does Frank buy her a lot of shit?
Probably to butter her up. That's the easiest way to get her on her, not like argument, but get her on his side.
And set rules by fostering an independence to help her develop a set of self-control. Okay?
Jesus.
I don't like the way I run my business.
Even
She's 7, Richard.
You know what, Tiff? I'm sorry. I gotta take this. I'll call you back. Fuck.
calm down, Richie. You're doing so good. No, we gonna rip that fucking picture up. The goat. Two goats. Two goats making love.
You stare at it for one more minute, and then we throw it away.
Put away now. I'm good.
Gladly.
Aww. He's the goat, man.
Excellent.
Wow. My fucking boy. I got goosebumps because of that.
What's going on out here?
Like hard goosebumps. Look, you got an adult dude! Sid, you can't drag him around either. We need to talk. We need to have an open conversation. We need to fix these things. We need to be calm.
Guess what's going on over there?
I don't know if you could. We've got computer plugging a clock into the wall.
Why?
Why are you plugging a clock into the
New
wall?
system? What's going on?
Anybody read anything good lately?
He's so, like...
Okay, moving on.
He's caring, but he's like, he'll hit you in your head.
Computer, say it a different way.
We have an option in the deal. If the business starts to bleed profusely, we're allowed to act.
Act. So what does that mean?
It's just a
Act.
tourniquet, buddy. When that clock shows 0, this restaurant needs to cease operations.
Oh my god. Jesus. Gotta put the foot down. That computer's like, yeah.
Sydney.
Okay, am I wrong though in thinking that 2 months is actually a pretty good parachute?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, Jesus.
Then what's the problem?
First off, it's fine to, okay, parachute, for which we owe a great deal of praise.
But we can't keep going into a parachute.
My sampling shows no growth or escalation, which is the sign of a dead business. Third, you're talking about a healthy parachute. This is not that.
Well, what's making our parachute?
There's fucking 23 bullet holes.
Did you read my charts?
Absolutely not.
I color-coded them for you.
Well, I tried, and no offense, the colors were weird, and it was depressing.
Yeah, I read the charts.
And?
They got depressing.
Right, so, unless there's...
I love the dialogue. I love the fast cuts.
Clock runs out. You closed a month ago.
Unc, is this real?
I'm so sorry, darling. I gotta put the restaurant back on the market, try and recoup something.
I like to bring about the inevitable instantly.
I can't blame Scissor because he's already been holding it off.
Along like a kid's wagon that doesn't have its wheels on it
Shut
anymore.
up. Oh, shit. What's this?
Yeah, what's going on? Hey, computer. Hey, Unc.
Greetings, Neil.
Hi, my love.
Hey, Sugar Bear.
I love these scenes.
They're telling us that we're gonna have to close the restaurant because after that point...
Be like beating a dead horse.
Yeah, like blasting a fucking wet crap all over it before you throw it off.
Jesus,
Running
guys.
it over with a Panzer tank.
We got it. We can turn it around.
All right, Uncle Jay, Uncle Computer.
Uncle
Am I correct to
Computer.
assume that this presentation has something to do with a little unsavory article in the paper record?
Would be safe to assume that, yeah.
All right. This is what I want to say. This,
Just like we practiced.
He's read that article 50 fucking times.
read that article very carefully. I admit, initially I did bristle and dismiss it as the musings of some skoostimop millennial jagoff. No offense. But upon
There's some truth to it.
further rereading and the cigarette, I realized that
And a cigarette.
it made me realize that I'm dropping the ball.
Nah.
All right? There's no excuse. That man came in
Everyone's dropping the ball a little bit.
because he's a repeat guest.
Carmi's dropping it a lot.
very
Richie, stop.
sorry.
Hold on.
Appreciate that.
No, hold on.
Stop.
I'm not
Seriously,
finished.
But I
Joe,
do
Richie?
think that I should be the one that's taking the
Enough
blame.
of Martyr Carmen. Let me just
No,
finish
I'm
what
trying
I'm
to tell
say.
you.
No,
it's
Richie,
my
let
fault.
him talk.
You're not
I'm trying
listening
to
to me.
apologize. No,
You're not listening.
They always gotta argue.
Okay, bye.
It's changing the menu all the time.
This
I'm telling you, I'm doing it.
is the fucking problem!
Okay. What about when we get the star? If we get the star.
This star, this fucking magical star. The star isn't some bumper sticker of success. We have to work towards it for a while, I would suppose.
We're gonna get the star.
I don't know. I want to believe. That right there is the most stressful thing Carmi has ever been involved with.
Nobody's gonna spend any more money, right? I'm looking right at you, Richard.
Chuck's buying droids.
It was free. Fucking gratis.
Look,
That's it. The beef window's good. He can spend money.
Anybody else? Who'd you hire?
I have goosebumps.
non-negotiables.
Yes, sir. Come on, bring him in, bring him in, bring him in. Let me see him.
What seems to be the biggest issue?
Yeah, I have such intense goosebumps. I wanted this so hard last season. These fucking goats. This is why I love this show. I have goosebumps. This is good. It's the bear, so it's gonna be end up bad, and we're gonna yell at each other, and we're gonna argue. But this seems good.
How are you doing with what goes with what?
I'm getting better at it. It's just the class is so technical. A lot of stuff is just going over my head.
I have a friend I want you to see.
Oh yeah? Come on, I want a Sweeps episode this season. Sweeps is like the only OG character to not get a decent episode.
Midweek, we average 2 no-shows a night, so I'm gonna overbook by 2 tables.
Yeah, what do you do if everyone shows?
They call that a champagne problem.
I love her so much. I just need her. Oh, Chucky. I just need her to get with Richie.
We're behind.
Ain't good but bad.
You got it.
Come on, dude. I love these fucking montages. I love this show. I'm so glad it's back. I only had to wait like 2 months for it, but... like, this shit is epic. You know what I mean? Like, as lame as that can sound to people who have never really watched The Bear is epic. It's like a fucking Shakespearean tragedy with the most realistic dialogue you've ever seen. It's a perfect show. Like, you know, I've always said this since the very beginning of the show. I know that the show's up and down. I know if we go into the positive, we're going to be negative for a little bit. I know that. But I just root for these guys so fucking much.
Order so many fucking flowers. Sorry, baby.
Oh, the little baby.
I love you.
I love you too.
Wait, are you mad at me?
Yes!
7 hours to service, 2 hours to beef window. Every second counts. Let's get to work.
I'm gonna say it for the final time for this episode. I say it all the time. Goosebumps. This is epic. And I hope this is what it takes to bring Sid back in. But I don't know, she doesn't look happy or I don't know, content. Oh my god, these fucking stressful ass shots of the money situation.
Marcus, what do you have next?
I'm walking to more peach cake.
Oh, he's struggling. He's panicking. Peach cakes, that's what they called me back in high school.
Eyes on pasta count. Yes, chef. Reading us.
Oh my god, that's a great fucking visual. Fucking overlaid with fucking line charts and bar graphs and shit.
Order in 6, 1 no shellfish.
We're gonna keep cutting. Oh! What? No, that's not the end! That's not the end! We're so fucking back, baby. We are so fucking back. I loved this show, and I loved that episode. I thought that was such an excellent season premiere, such a way to bring you back in. This is technically, you know, I mean, other than... and I guess you could also kind of say that it's the same for this, but... this is the first, like, whole season drop I have watched in a long time. I think you couldn't... I think some people would include Squid Game Season 2. The reason I don't include that is because I finished Squid Game Season 1, like, a couple days before Season 2 aired, I believe, so there wasn't really a wait. with The Bear, I binged the first 3 seasons about 2 months ago. I slowly aired them on my YouTube, so it like led right up into the new season. So on YouTube, there wasn't that much of a wait, but for me, it's been a little bit. I don't love whole season drops more than like 1 episode per weeks, because I feel like those shows benefit more towards a discussion, a conversation, a real analysis of them. Not that I'm going to say The Bear is like not deep but to me, I think The Bear is the perfect show that it's okay to drop the season all at once. You know what I mean? It's like it's a fucking roller coaster, and it's like a perfect. It's everything. The episodes are so short. It's like it doesn't feel like you're watching a full season. It feels like. That's something that I've really complimented. Over the course of the first 3 seasons, there was probably, 3 episodes that were over 40 minutes? Everything else was like a short fucking sprint of pure, unadulterated emotion, and I absolutely love that. I think season 2 was definitely my favorite season, and 3 and 1 are very close for me. I don't even know if I can pick a favorite. I know I was talking to my friend who he'd watched The Bear, years before me, so he was caught up. I know that I'm pretty sure that season 3 isn't the most popular season, but for me as someone, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, I have a film degree, as someone who loves fucking pure cinematography. At times during season 3, the story might have been a little lacking, but I think that it more than made up for it with the cinematography, with the absolute beauty and the artistry of everything that was going on. So, it's something I do like. It feels like, so far, each season, the cinematography has been upgraded more and more and more and more and more. I expect the same for this. I do expect a little more story progression, and again, I didn't have any problems last season whatsoever, but if you were, like, gun to my head, what would you say? We could have done a little more, and I hope we do more with this. And so far, through 1 episode, I think that's the journey we're on. I thought that was a perfect reintroduction to the characters. I told you, I don't know if I have them now. I don't know if you can see them. I have intense goosebumps just thinking about the episode. Okay? Something about The Bear, I jokingly say, it's like they have crack in the fucking episodes. Like, there's something in them that just connects to me and just hits me. And it has to do with the characters and how realistic they are. And I know that it's like a blank base statement, like, oh yeah, well, the characters are realistic, blah, blah, blah. No, like, every single fucking one of them, they feel like I could meet them on the streets. And not only that, but like, I'm not saying real people isn't like, oh, they're the most boring, you know what I mean, non-interesting, fucking, I'm not saying that. No, they're all interesting. They all have deep, complex struggles, emotions. They're, you know what I mean? They panic, but then they're also happy. They're motivated, but they're scared. They have all these emotions, and they're also, a couple of them are eccentric in a way that I've seen real people. Like someone like, Neil. You know what I mean? Yeah, Neil's eccentric, but I know Neil's. Someone like computer. You know what I mean? I know a computer. Like, and I just love that so much. And the reason that I'm giving such strong compliments to that is because the structure of the show, the sort of montage, you don't know what's going on, you don't know what each episode is going to be about. 1 episode could be about fucking Sugar, getting pregnant, or giving birth. Another episode could be fucking a flashback of Tina's origin story. And that's such a unique structure and format for a show. And I think it's only allowed to be possible because you actually care for the characters. And that's why I really loved season 3. And I know that some people had problems with it, but for me, season 3 was sort of the perfect, like, I care about these characters and I love the artistry of the show. You can do anything. Like, the creator of this store, he's bought my trust, he's bought my confidence. He can do whatever he wants. And I'm not saying, like, dick me around, fucking, you know what I mean, have like 10 bottle episodes in a row where absolutely nothing happens. I'm not necessarily saying that. But I'm saying that I have a lot of leniency. Because whatever this show has provided to me has been perfect. It has been perfect. I love that you know, the Ever workers have come here, and obviously I would assume we're going to break down a little bit more into them personally as the season goes by. I mean, I don't really think they're just going to be. At least I hope not. I hope they're not just going to be like some Deus Ex Machina, you know, getting a little better. I want them to have struggles. I want them, you know, to have problems, and not in like a horrific way. Again, they're human. I want to see how they deal with stress, and I want to see how they deal with all these things. Like I've had to see Carm and Richie and Sid and deal with all these stuff. Sid is still mulling over this decision. Again, I could be proven wrong. I could, you know, you guys can binge the season and in a couple hours make me, you know, look absolutely stupid. But I don't think that she will leave. I don't think she wants to leave. I think that she sees the problems and she's keeping the option, you know, open. You know, going to the other restaurant. But I think deep down she doesn't want to go, especially because of that connection to Carmi. It's almost like a weird, like a, you know, like a toxic relationship with girlfriend boyfriend. I can fix them sort of situation. You know what I mean? And I understand that from Sid because he is so good, but he's just so his everything, his experiences, his childhood, everything has just affected him so harshly that it's sometimes hard to get through to him. This episode, I did see some understanding from Carm, a little bit of responsibility. But that's the thing. It's almost like watching The Sopranos. Just because I see growth or a good moment, I can't say anything in the long term. I need to see it repeatedly. I need to see it consistently, because next episode could fucking open up with Carmi going in a fucking yelling match with Sid, or a yelling match with fucking Richie or some shit, and I would go, yeah, classic Carm. Looking at things I need this season, I wouldn't even say need, because again, I repeat, Storer could do anything. He could do anything, and I would be on board with it because this season, the show, everything is fucking awesome. Like I said, I want some focus on the former Ever workers, the new Bear members. I really want to see their relationships with our crew grow, some partnerships. I would really enjoy that, and along with that, connecting to that, Richie and is it Jess? I think is it Jess? I threw away my old paper. I have to rewrite it. I have it on my phone. For those who don't, I have a notebook of character names and relationships and all that. I didn't. I'm gonna redo it for episode 2, not episode 1. For some stupid reason, I made that decision. But I believe it's Jess. I want to see them get together, and not even just in like a. I want to see them have sex or something, you know, weird like that. I want to see them have a relationship. I want to see them have a connection. I want to see that dialogue grow. I want to see Richie sort of not be as lonely as he has been. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Obviously, we have our main characters. Like I want Tina. I want Marcus. I want, you know, Sid and Richie and Carmi, and you know what I mean. I want a couple facts. I want them to have moments and episodes and focus. But I need a sweeps episode. And not even like, I'm not saying like a full fucking, you know, hour devoted to him or anything like that, but I do want a little bit more sweeps focus. Not even necessarily this season. By the end of the show, I don't know how long the show's plans to run for, how many seasons or anything like that. I don't know. This could be the last fucking season, and I don't know. I guess I'll find out in a couple hours. But Sweeps is one of the characters whom I'm like, yeah, I really want some more of. Obviously Sugar. I love Sugar. I fucking love Sugar. I want more Sugar. And Ibra too is another character that I'm like, I want a little bit more, and I really liked his season 2 plotline. It was low key. It wasn't like he didn't take up a whole bunch of screen time, but you saw him you saw the main crux of his character, some of the core issues, self-confidence, you know, and all that, and I want that to be expanded upon a little more. Again, not that it was lacking. It's just that it's so good that I want more. That's a problem if you watch any of my other reaction series. The one problem I have with TV is that I just want more. If something's good, if something's remotely good, it can be like a 6 out of 10, but 6 out of 10 to me still positive. I want more. I will take it all in. Pause. So yeah, I spoke about it for a bit, but there's one detail that I just wanted to mention. I keep talking about how the bear has the most realistic dialogue of any show I've ever watched. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the best dialogue. For instance, I feel like early seasons of Game of Thrones is my favorite dialogue, just because of that medieval sort of vibe and the artistry of the prose and all that. Not as realistic as the Bear, but it's probably my favorite. But the Bear's definitely top 5. But in terms of realisticness, to me, it's above The Sopranos. It's above The Wire. Like, it's something about the dialogue in this series is just insane. Like, it shouldn't be this good. It simply should be this good. That's all that I'm going to say. So I'm very much looking forward to what they can do with that this season. I really liked... I don't even know if there's a word for this, like the scenes you call them. The scenes where there's a problem. There's an argument that's being started, typically starts between Carmy and Sid, and they have sort of communication issues, I would say. It's almost like they walk on eggshells next to each other, where Carmy is evasive, and Carmy acts like the Mikey... You know what I mean? Mikey is to Carmy what Carmy is to Sid. It almost feels like there's some sort of like weird protection, like, oh, I need to keep her out of this, or in Mikey's case, oh, I need to keep my little brother out of this so I can handle this for him. Whereas the opposite side of the relationship, it's almost like, again, like walking on eggshells, scared, a little shy, a little... I see the problem, but I'm not going to speak up about the problem. And I think that that's something that really needs to be fixed. And needs Sid to put her foot down. And again, I don't want to say, because again, you can't respond to unhealthy, toxic situations with unhealthy, toxic, behavior. And I'm not saying, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying to do this in a very, like, threatening, way, but I think that Sid really needs to just have a sit-down conversation with Carmy and go, hey, look, I really want to work here, I want to make this work, but I have another option, like, this isn't my only option here. I need some fixes. And again, this episode, it looks like we made a lot of strides to get better. This fixing the system, all these, amazing workers coming in and fucking, helping us really at the stuff we're struggling at. Because it's not the food we're struggling at, it's the system, it's the behavior, it's the chaoticness, as seen in the fucking review. So... But what I'm trying to say is, that's the thing with the Bear. It looks like we're on a positive. We're going to trend up for a couple episodes, and then we can trend down, and we can struggle for a little bit, and then we can go back up. And so it's a ride. It's a fucking ride, and I'm so excited. I'll repeat it. Like, obviously, I started watching this at 8 o'clock. I am going to finish this episode up. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to upload it, and then I'm going to go on a binge. So, like I said, in a day or two... when you guys finish the Bear season 4, I'm probably going to have my full-length reactions up on there, so check it out if you're interested. It's $10 a month for live action shows. If you check YouTube comments, it will say the exact episode I'm currently on over on Patreon. So like I said, if you're interested in my reactions, you want to hear what I have to say about this beautiful, wonderful, amazing, hectic, toxic show, just check there. I think that's going to be it for this amazing... Like I said, I can easily say that was my favorite premiere. Of the entire show, that was my favorite premiere. Even above the pilot, I really enjoyed that episode. So I'm excited for them to keep this momentum up, man. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys for watching. And like I said, subscribing really helps me out. I will see you guys. And that's the one thing, too. And the final thing I guess I'll say, I don't necessarily know how I'm going to upload these. I'm probably going to aim for one every other day. But even then, I don't know. I might do like a couple back-to-backers, if that makes any sense. I'll have to see. I will have to see. But that's gonna be it. I will see you guys either tomorrow or in 2 days for episode 2. I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys have a good one.